What's going on? Will Freeman, RevolutionaryLifestyleDesign.com, talking to you about passive income, why it's a myth. What I mean by passive income is income that you don't have to do anything about, quote unquote passive income. For example, real estate income, right? I'm going to give you a couple exceptions or sort of nuances to this at the end of the video. But real estate income, for example, it's not passive unless you have a property manager and he's taking a percentage. But then you still have to manage the property manager. So it's more passive than it would be someone who works a 9 to 5 job and gets paid hourly. But there is no system where you're 100% not involved from the money that you're making. I even have ebooks that I sell. It's going to be courses soon enough. But I need to create traffic. I need to create new content constantly to bring in new traffic constantly to constantly sell those books. Okay. Yes, I could not post for a month and still make money, but I'm going to be making less money that month. And over time, my business will die if I don't continue to produce new content. That's just the reality of it. So those ebooks are not passive. This was, something that it was my dream since I read that 4-hour work week. Yeah, I'll just build this system and it'll be passive forever. No, you still have to manage the system and you still have to keep putting the outputs out. Okay. Also, think about this for a second. Passive. Okay. There's not an ounce of me that wants to be passive. I'm an active person. I'm an aggressive person. I don't want to sit around doing nothing all day. I want to have missions. I want to have goals. I want to have challenges. Do you really want to be a passive person? Do you want to do passive things? Okay. Because I'll tell you this right now. Let's say, you somehow come across a bunch of money. You're going to be really happy for about 3 months, 6 months, a year. Then you're going to slip back down into depression because you're going to have no purpose. All right. The worst thing in the world is to have no purpose. Okay. A lot of young guys, myself included, think, or even, if you're my age, 37 year old, or if I made a bunch of money, I won't have to do this stuff anymore. Trust me, man, you're going to be bored to tears. Okay. You could be sitting on the beach in Thailand. I've sat on the beach in Thailand and drank mojitos, man. I'm bored after 2 hours. My back starts to hurt. It's hot. There's mosquitoes everywhere. This is no kind of a life, this passive life, okay? You want an active life. You want challenges. You want purpose. You want to be out there winning. You want to be able to build new things. Doesn't matter how much money I make, I'm still going to work. I'm still going to find something else to do. And I would be doing this exact same business just with more money, and I'd probably, maybe I'd throw $1 million at the YouTube channel just to blow it up for fun. But not an ounce of me wants to be passive. Not an ounce of you should want to be passive. Okay. The exception is there's levels to this. All right. Let's say you're building a business system. You become less involved in that system over time as the system's optimized and you hire the right people. But you're still going to need to manage those people. And you're going to need to fire those people. Or maybe you're like me and you've done it without having to have a bunch of employees, but you have different business systems that you work with. SoundCloud, for example, I upload on my podcast too. But I've got to be in touch with them. I've got to produce content. I've still got to do, these various things. Even if you have managers and all you do is manage the managers, you still have to manage them. You might be able to get your work hours down to one day a week of management, like Dan Kennedy does. But it's not going to be 100% passive. Even if you, build Johnson & Johnson, you build a massive company and, you go public with it, right? And maybe you've removed yourself from a CEO position. You're still going to, like, let's say you get $2 billion of, and this is like a crazy example, not example I'd push you guys to follow, but you've got $2 billion of your worth tied up in this company. You're going to be invested in who the CEO is. You're going to be invested in who the chairman of the board is. Like Bill Gates, even with all his fundraising and all the stuff that he does, is still cares about who's running Microsoft. Still cares that the right people are involved. Still cares about who's on the board. Same thing with the guys from Google, right? There's nobody that's entirely passive. Okay, they just have leveled up where they need to be less and less involved. There are levels to it, like the employee needs to be the most involved, and then the higher you go, the more successful you are, the less you can be involved in the day-to-day. But you will always be involved to a degree. Some some light exceptions would be like, real estate with a property management fund, but you still have to manage the property manager. You could buy bonds or you could buy stocks, but you still have to monitor those stocks. Like if we're not talking about business, we're talking about investments. It's still not, even dividend producing stocks is not 100% passive, because you got to focus on monitoring your portfolio. Maybe the closest thing you could come to would be a bond fund, or a big bond tree, like like MJ DeMarco describes, where you've saved $1 million and you've got it into like corporate bonds at 4 to 5%, but you still have to monitor this. You still have to collect the coupons. It's not 100% passive, so there are levels to it. But if we're just drilling like right into without those exceptions, which aren't like pure exceptions anyways, there's still nothing that's 100% passive. We're just talking about your business, and you're like, man, once I set this up, it'll just be able to run automatically. At the end of the day, you're still gonna want to be involved, want to manage things. And I guess the major point of this video is sort of like, if you're thinking about like the internet entrepreneurship, like, you build a bunch of info products and stuff, and it's just going to be able to run as an automated system. I mean, all that stuff's great. I love my info products. I'm going to launch like 16 courses. By the way, it's not going to be this one big how to play the game of life course. That was turning out to be like 300 hours. I love all that, but traffic still has to be produced. People have to come in. I still have to do outbound marketing, all this stuff, even though those books are paying me while I sleep, and it's great. Do not think that any business, you're just going to be able to set it and forget it. The second you start neglecting something, whether it's a girlfriend or a business, that's going down. And you're either going up or you're going down, and there's no neutral. Gravity brings a flat line down. So, I mean, it's a great goal to be able to remove yourself from the process and build a system, but don't shit on selling your time for money. The service business is your way out. Even then, there's 7 figures in a lot of these service businesses without more than 1 or 2 employees. Okay, just sell your time for a lot of money, and then you can scale to where you're less involved in certain things. But don't have this dream that I did of you can just have this machine that just runs, this perpetual money machine that runs forever, that you're not involved with. Okay, people are going to quit, people are going to get fired. Times will change. I'm on YouTube right now. Who knows what 10 years is going to look like? I could be on holograms talking to you or whatever, while you're in the toilet, as some of you watching this video probably are right now. But that's the reality of these things. So, just stop thinking about passive, passive aggressive. There's no connotation of passive that I like. Aggressive, active, err on the side of aggression. That's how I want to live. I don't want to live passive at all. I don't even want, I don't want to do nothing all day. I want to do something every day. I want to work out hard every day. I want to work on my business every day so that I can actually enjoy my rest period at the end of the day. That's the natural cycle of things. Work and rest, okay? So hope that clarifies some things for you. Check me out, revolutionarylifestyledesign.com/products, revolutionarylifestyledesign.com/coaching if you want any help with this stuff. Much love to you. Let me know what you think in the comment section.